Hi everyone, so my name's Aisling and I'll be going through building rapport and player buy-in for this session. So just starting off, all the stuff throughout the presentation will be relevant for all age groups, so across all the ages. So just a quick question for you all. What is rapport? So just have a little think to yourselves what rapport is to you and what does that mean to you? Now, so just a little definition there of rapport. So it's a close and harmonious relationship in which the people or groups concerned understand each other's feelings or ideas and communicate well. So the two main things in this definition is the relationship and communication. So it's about building trust and respect between the coaches and the players. So just the next part then, building rapport. So how do we build rapport with our players and the team? So it's important to build a relationship. So it's the relationship between the coaches and the players and the players, so the player to player relationship, the coach to coach relationship, and then especially with younger players and athletes is the coach to parent relationship. So how we do this is through communication. So we make sure that we're using our verbal and our non-verbal communication. We've all prepared this one before. We make sure that we're using age-appropriate language, so that obviously what we're saying and how we're communicating is appropriate for the age group that we're coaching. And we need to make sure our body language is nice and positive. So this is especially relevant for when you're coaching younger groups and kids, that they feed off your energy. So you have to come up, be enthusiastic and not acting, but showing that you want to be there and taking the session. So names, I think this was already said just previously in the last part. So names is just a huge part of coaching. So it's very important as it shows interest from the coach to the players, but it also is really nice for the players that the coach knows your name. So it's just a huge part of building the relationship. So then praising, this is another huge one. A lot of coaches say well done and they think that's their job done. They think that that's all they have to do is say well done, but don't say well done. That's what we need to be doing. We need to tell them what they've done well. So Emma, that was a brilliant high catch, excellent stuff, well done, that was excellent, super technique in your high catch. So then the next one would be listening and observing. So we're asking players maybe when they come up to training, how was your weekend? How did you find today? What have you been doing? It just shows interest from the coach that you're interested in your players and what they're getting up to. So then as well, you can also say in training. So after training, I know I do this with, say, coaching nursery age group. I'll ask the kids, what was your favourite part of today? What was your favourite skill? Which did you enjoy the most? And obviously listening back and getting the feedback from the children. And it just builds trust between the coach and relationship. So you're working on building the relationship, building the trust and respect between the coach and the players. Also then for as you get older, so coaching the older kids, asking for feedback on a drill. So just listening to your players, asking them, how did you find that drill or activity? What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? But it also helps you as a coach to build on your skills and your drills. Next slide. So just a little quote here, that children don't always remember what you tell them, but they'll always remember the way you make them feel. So this is so important, like why we've been talking about building the relationship. It's about building the relationship with your players. It's just key. So it's so important to take the time out to get to know your players and just chat about them, asking them how their day was, because it really does make a difference. We'll all remember a good coach that we've had. So no matter what, you remember your good coach because of how they've made you feel. So now, how will we try to build rapport? So it's so important to get to know your players. So like we said, just chatting to your players, asking them how was their weekend, how was their day, especially now with the likes of lockdown and different things like that. Previous to lockdown, you'd be asking how was your day, how was school, and just getting to know their interests. But still, again, you're working on building that relationship, building the trust with the team. So then fun. So no matter what age group you're working with, just keep elements of your session fun. So whether that be changing the rules in a match, that if you have a ball, you're not allowed to move, so the players around them have to move, and just changing up the rules and different things like that to make it different and challenging for the players. Also then, if you include a drill that the team enjoy training, so if they have a hard training session, that you include that drill because the team like that drill at the end of the session. So then another one then is team building. So this can be anything. You could take a weekend trip away. So there's plenty of adventure centres around the place that you can go to. You can take day trips, so the likes of paintball and go-kart and just anything that gets the whole team together. There's also the likes of the family fun days in the clubhouses. So I know many clubs run family fun days. So it's really important to get your team up and be a presence in the club as the team coming up together and taking part in these family fun days. Most of the time you might have stuff like sumo wrestling and different things like that you players can take part in, but it's all about team bonding and building the team together. Then there's other things as well, like inexpensive ways that you can do team bonding and stuff like that, and you'll get loads of examples of them online as well. Sorry, I don't know what that was. Okay, so then the last one then is coaching the person and not the sport. So it's so important that you're tweaking your coaching style to get the best out of your players. So not all players and athletes learn the exact same. So it's important for you as the coach to be able to tweak your coaching style to get the best out of each and every one of your players. So some players might pick up a skill a lot quicker than others, and it's important for you to be able to spot what the other player isn't picking up and maybe change your demonstration or how you communicate the demo for the other person to pick it up. So tweaking your style, and just making sure that you ensure that you're keeping it age specific. So if you're coaching an under 8, you're not teaching them a skill that's suitable for an under 12. You're not going above the age group that it's supposed to be. So I just have a little story here now that I was coaching 4-year-old girls maybe a few years ago in a summer camp, and it was absolutely roasting. We were coaching on an Astro, so you can only imagine the heat, and the girls did not want to do anything, did not want to play any GAA, didn't want to do anything at all. So what we decided to do was to play role play. So we were going to the house and going to the shop. So what we used was our balance beams and stuff like that to build a pathway to go to the shop, and so they could go buy their little things in the shop and then go back to the house and make the dinner. So the girls thought, this is brilliant, we're just role playing mummies, daddies, aunties and uncles coming around. But what they were actually working on was their fundamentals. So they're walking across the balance beam, working on their balance and going down to pick up cones and different things like that, and working on their agility and coordination without them knowing they were doing GAA or working on their skills. We were still working on them while they were having so much fun playing role play or playing house, whatever you'd like to call it. But that's just a little example there of coaching the person and not the sport. So know your audience, like know how you can change things around to make it suit the players that you're coaching. So just now we're going on to player buy-in. So there's 2 types of players that you'll probably have come across already, or you may come across later on throughout your coaching career. So you have the committed player and the compliant player. So I don't know if anyone has heard of this before, but I'm sure now when I start explaining you'll understand. So the committed player, we're going to talk about the committed player first. So these are players who go above and beyond for your team and the coach. So in a match situation, let's just say your team could be down, things aren't going your way, but that committed player will fight to the very end, giving it the very all, and power through, do their job and keep going. They lead others, so they lead their teammates and push them on as well, and they put their trust in you as a coach and their teammates. So a compliant player, then, they just do a task because they feel they have to do it. So they don't want to do the task. They're not willing to give it all for the team. They're just there to be there. So they do something when they're told to do it, not because they want to do it. Then if, let's say, a match situation again, if the match is going against them, things aren't going their way, they might just give up. They don't want to keep trying. They don't want to push through. They don't want to work hard to get to the final whistle. They're not leaders on the team, and they actually could unmotivate others, so they could pull others the opposite way to them. So you really, really want to try and have your players committed and giving it your all for the team, which is what we all would like. So then the next part then. So we're just going to talk about player buy-in. So first thing that you do, you could create team goals. So this would be where the team creates the goals. So it's not the coach coming up with the goals, it's the team. So creating team goals, let the team, like I said, let the team create them. By letting the team create it motivates the team even more to achieve the goal because of ownership of them goals. You can also let them pick individual goals. So these could be goals such as positional goals. So where the individual player would like to be positioned on during match days and stuff like that, or skill goals, or also preparation. So preparation for matches, for training, what they'd like personally to do for themselves. And then you can also have challenge orientated goals. So this could be in a match situation as well. You're not looking at the final outcome, so you're not looking at the result of the game. You're going to say to your team, okay, in this half, what our goal is we want to work on turnovers and shots. So you could say, right, we're going to give you a challenge goal, obviously, and it's going to be in the first half, we want to make sure we get 10 turnovers. So that's what our goal is. And then we want to get 15 shots on target. So you're giving the team a challenge goal. So you're not looking at the final end result. You're giving them smaller specific goals to achieve during the game as well. So then we have team leaders. So this doesn't have to always be the captain and the vice captain, which many people would think is their leaders. So these are players who motivate others. They push them on to try and get the best from the team. So when you take a training session, you'll know the team leaders straight away. You just spot them. You can spot them a mile away. But like I said, they motivate your team. They want to get the best from themselves. They give the best from themselves and motivate others. So this also means that they don't have to be the loudest on the team. So they can lead through their actions as well. So it's not all about being vocal. They lead by showing. So like I said, leading by their actions. So the next one then is questions and feedback. This is so important. Like we've already discussed this part, but this is really, really important in a team because it shows that you're listening to the team. So this is great for younger age groups, but also as you get up to adult level, that you're listening to the players. So like I said, asking them how you found that drill. So if you create a drill and they might find it too easy, but you could think that it's quite hard. So it's about getting the feedback from your players and asking them how they found it, but it also gets the players thinking and thinking how they can improve. So you could have a drill and say, this is what we're doing, we're going to do this. Let them let them do the drill and then pull them back in and say, how can we change this to work on, say, more defensively or more attackingly or different things like that. And let your team come up with how they would change it. So it's getting the players thinking the different options and stuff like that. And even you can pull it back then from, say, you had a match the week before, making things more match situations and getting your players to think about what they could have done differently in the game in training. And then it also helps you as the coach to improve your skills. So you're getting feedback from your coaches, from your players. So that means you're able to change your coaching to suit the players. So if you're doing something that you think, oh yeah, this is a brilliant drill, and then your players come back and tell you, oh, we found that quite easy. That allows you to say, okay, perfect. How will I as a coach now make this more difficult for my players? But it's just getting that balance in the relationship and building the trust with your players that you're listening to. And the last one here now I have is team. So team culture is key. It's just the atmosphere that's around the team all the time. So whether it's training or matches or anything like that. So it's so important to a team. I can't explain how important, but it's just so important. But it's not something that you can see. So you can't see culture, but you can feel it. You know it's there. But if you don't have the team culture so positive and organized, it can be just detrimental to a team. So just take, for example, a fish tank with like a goldfish tank. Okay, so let's just say the water is the team culture. You can't see it, it's clear. But once it's positive and it's it's normal and the fish are swimming around and they're all happy, okay, let's just say that water is toxic. You still can't see that water is toxic, but if you leave it for a while, all the fish are going to die. So that's the same as if your culture is toxic, it's just detrimental to the team. You just really need to work on it, and you need to have a positive team culture and they're all working together. So then just this slide here about lockdown. So obviously now with lockdown, it's way harder to build a rapport with players, especially if you're taking on a new team or just getting back seeing your team. So it's really important to stay in contact with your team, no matter what age group, and just get an engagement from them, whether you have a minor team and they're getting ready for their exams and different things like that, that you're just engaging with them, asking them how they're feeling, different things like that. So these are just of the things that I personally done in the last few lockdowns with different age groups, so from 4-year-olds all the way up to minor level, and these worked really well for me. So the likes of skills videos, so taking a video of yourself or one of your other coaches, or even finding a video on YouTube or something like that and posting it for your players in either the team WhatsApp or whatever way you communicate to the social media channels through your club. Try out the challenges and send back videos of them trying these skills and working on them. And the next one here then is challenges or TikTok dances. So this is so important about knowing your players, getting to know their interests and stuff like that. So it doesn't always have to be GA or camogie related. So challenges, you could do a baking challenge for your players. So something that's fun, you're still engaging with your players. You could bake, I don't know, have a team bake off once a week. Someone has to share a recipe and you all have to bake, and it's just a bit of fun. The likes of TikTok videos and TikTok dances. TikTok's very popular with the younger age groups, but something that's a bit funny, just everybody on the team would have a great laugh doing it. But it's also just, once again, engagement, getting to know your players, so even the coaches getting involved, just having some crack with it. And then the next one, S&C and fitness things. So providing strength and conditioning classes through the likes of Zoom and stuff can be really great because you can do it once a week. You get to see your players and you just get to, that's what we're doing, you're just engaging with your players and just getting the feedback, and also sending like fitness things. So say doing your 5k run, 3k run, obviously depending on the age group of your players. But once again, it's the engagement, it's getting face to face with them. And then the next one is wall ball skills and stuff. So most people have a wall near them that they can puck the slitter off of, that they can work on hand passing. If they don't have a big wall, they definitely have a rebounder of some sort, or they have a wall around their back. Anywhere, everyone will find a wall to do their skills. But this is brilliant for working on their skills, because what we need now is all touches on the ball, the slitter, everything. it's just getting the players still working on skills and focusing and making sure that they're getting as many touches as possible, since we're not being able to get face to face. So like I was saying there, you could use wall ball skills as a skills video or a challenge, see how many hand passes they can get off the wall in 30 seconds, right hand, left hand, see how many strikes they can do, right hand, left hand, different things like that. So right side, left side, and just make it fun. But it's all about knowing your players and what they enjoy and what they'd be interested in and what you'd get engagement from your players from. And I think that's me done.